Hey everyone, it's Ricardo. We recently posted a video from a skit that we did during our Kingdom House Youth Ministry Edge Youthquake event. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But what I wanted to do is I just wanted to clear up some of the misunderstanding that people may have had concerning the video that we did. That skit in particular was to show a young lady that was at a party. While she was at the party, she realized that she was out of the place where God wanted her to be. The reality of the matter is that there's some people that are actually in those situations. See, our goal is to be able to minister to those people that don't come to church. When Christ spoke to the woman at the well, he didn't come out and blatantly start telling her you are a prostitute and different things. He spoke and had conversation with her about something that she understood. So he related to her first before he was able to minister to her. And that was the whole point of what we were doing. We spoke to them in something that they understand. Now, of course, not every young person has had an experience in a club, but our goal at Kingdom House is not only to reach young people that go to church, but it's to reach young people that have never been in church before. For those of you who don't know, a great percentage of the young people that come to our events don't go to church. They don't know Christ. So it was our goal to use that whole flip method. When they leave the four walls of the church, they're out there, they're listening to worldly music. Whether they may be flipping through the channels and they may hear it, they have it in their iPods. Yes, they do. They may hear it on the radio. However they may hear it, our goal is that when they hear that song, they'll won't hear it the same way, or they won't have the same meaning to them, because it'll always stick with them. After seeing the skit and after understanding the flip message, wherever I am, every time I hear that song, what sticks out to me is, I don't care what they say, I'm in love with you. They try to pull me away, but they don't know the truth. That always sticks out to me. Our whole purpose in doing that skit was to use that to show that the young lady was in that situation, and in the midst of her being there, she got a revelation and said, you know what, I'm not supposed to be here. This is not where I belong. And that's just one portion of what we do. That was just one fragment of what we do. We reach our kids in so many different ways. Drama team, praise and worship team, programs, a fashion program, education program, art program, graphic design and photography. We're working on so many different things because we understand that, see, when Jesus recited or rehearsed the Great Commission, what disciples did is that they were able to take the vision that Christ rehearsed, the vision and the Great Commission, and they interpreted it, took it and made it their own. They owned it. So one of them wasn't a teacher, but they were a preacher. So when he said go out and make disciples, they interpreted it and said, well, I'm a preacher, so I'm going to go out and preach to all nations, and that's how I'm going to fulfill the Great Commission. Another one wasn't a preacher, but he was a teacher. He said, I'm going to go out and teach all nations so I can win souls and fulfill the Great Commission. And it's the same principle that we're using. I'm into fashion, so that is the vehicle that I'm going to use. That's the gift that God gave me. So that is the vehicle that I'm going to use to win souls for Christ. Another one may be good at education, and they're going to use their field to win souls and use it to minister. So we're all about being strategic. We make no apologies for our methods. When Christ walked on the earth, what the church that existed on the earth at that time, they ridiculed him and they criticized him for his methods because he was unconventional, and he didn't work in the way that they were accustomed to. He was at the well with a prostitute. You know what I mean? He went to where she was, and there's in another scripture that he healed someone on the Sabbath, and they were so caught up on him breaking the law of the Sabbath that they didn't even notice that someone's life was transformed. And a lot of people can make a lot of noise about the way that we did it, or the method that we used, and don't even see that there were lives that were transformed after that. I say all that to say that's just the way that we do it. Everyone is not going to like it, but guess what? We're not called to the church. we're called to go out into the world, to reach and to minister to those people that are out in the world. God called us to be separated and to be sanctified, but we have to actually minister to those people. And I'm not saying that we don't have a standard of holiness. I mean, everyone may look at the actual skit and say, well, wow, they up there and they grind and da da da. They don't, that's not what they do. They were just playing a role, and they understood that they were doing it because we want to reach soul. That there are kids that are our age that go to parties and go to clubs. So they knew the reason that they were doing it. They knew why they were doing it. They knew what they were doing. And even some of our young people were praying for young people, that were in that particular skit. They have a heart for their generation. So a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say. We can't help that. We can apologize for that. What we do know is that we're affecting lives. We're making a difference. We're changing lives. And that was just one portion of what we do. Before we're quick to jump up and to, make judgments, look at the whole picture. You know what I mean? Go to our website. Visit us at www.kingdomhouseyouthministry.org. See what we're about. See what we're doing. You really just start beating up on us, because again, we really have the heart of God. We're really passionate about what we do. We do this, there's a handful of us that work this youth ministry 7 days a week, 24/7. This is what we do. We deal with these kids every day. We get phone calls all hours of the night. We've gotten testimonies from parents about how their lives are being transformed. So we have young people that are on Facebook that they're excited to show their friend this video because it's something that they can relate to. This is something that we did at our church, and we want you to see it. And they look at it and say, oh wow, that was really nice. So where's your church? Okay, I think I want to come by and I want to visit. Yes, we did have a scene where they were in the club. That's just a reality. That's what happens in the world. And because I keep hearing the same terminology, God don't need the devil's stuff to win or to reach souls. He sure doesn't need the devil's stuff to win souls. He sure doesn't need the devil's stuff to reach souls. Our method is that we want to take the same music that they're listening to and flip it, because why not, while they're listening to it, change the meaning of it, so when they hear it, they won't hear it the same. That's what you call being strategic. Honestly, the generation that we're dealing with today is not enough to say don't do it. It's not enough to say do what I do. It's not enough to say all that. We really have to get in there with them and show them how to live and show them what's right. We weren't glorifying the party. That was just a part of the skit. Okay, so for everybody that's watching, I just want to say thanks. Feel our heart. We're not trying to be competitive, going around bashing other youth ministries. We want to partner. You know what I mean? Because we understand it takes a village to raise a child, and God strategically puts youth ministries in certain areas because there's so many young people that needs to be affected. So let's band together and not work against each other. You know what I mean? There's people that are on our page and they're looking and they're like, wow, that really did something to me. When do you have services? What time are your services? Where are your services? Because we just want to relate to our young people. Live in a 54-inch flat screen TV, high definition generation time, and we can't give them a 24-inch black and white TV message. It's the same message, but we're changing the method. It's the same message. It's the same show that you're watching, but instead of having it on a black and white TV, we're putting it in high definition. We're going to definitely be unconventional, and we expect to get backlash from people that are really traditional. This is the method that God gave us, and it's working because our youth ministry is growing. We're seeing young people's lives transform, and we're not compromising. We preach a holiness message, and we're not saying a holiness message to tear people down and to tell. We preach a holiness message. It's, you have to live right, of course, but we're just careful with how we relate to our young people because we want to build them up and not tear them down. And again, I love you all. That's all I have to say right now. And go to www.kingdomhouseyouthministry.org for all things Kingdom House, every day, all day. Learn about our programs, find out about our services, see pictures, see videos. Again, we just really want to reach this generation and empower them to be the best that God has called them to be and to fulfill their destiny and purpose in the kingdom. All right? This is your boy Ricardo. Peace out. Thanks for listening. Bye.